Hello, this is a presentation for those of you that have been having trouble working with fractions. We're going to look at three different examples of solving equations with fractions. This first example, we have 2x minus 5 over 4. We have a fraction that has an expression in the numerator, 2x minus 5, instead of just a number. The second example, in somewhat sloppy writing, has several fractions, three fractions to be exact, but there's no distribution involved. Sometimes we have distribution, other times not. And the last example will be with distribution, which adds basically one more step to the process. So we're going to look at these three examples and see what we can do. The first example here, 2x minus 5 over 4 equals 3x plus 2 over 3. No distribution. No distribution. So we find the least common denominator. What is the least common denominator? In this case, it's 12. So we multiply both sides by 12. So I put it in parentheses, both sides, and we're good to go. So find the least common denominator, multiply by the least common denominator, and we multiply everything, both sides. All right, when we do that, 4 goes into 12 3 times, 3 goes into 12 4 times, and now, because I have an expression in the numerator, since this is an expression, I'm going to have to distribute. So in this problem, I then cancel first, and then I distribute. So I canceled, now I distribute. 3 times 2, 6x, minus 3 times 5, 15, equals 4 times 3, 12x, plus 4 times 2, 8. And now we solve. Minus 6x, minus 6x. And notice here that because I'm subtracting 6x, when I say minus and show it to both sides, that I use the x. Some of you have not been putting that there, and sometimes you make mistakes because you see a minus 6 and then you go 8 minus 6. But we want to make sure we're subtracting like terms. Negative 15 then equals 6x plus 8. Subtract 8, subtract 8, and we get 6x equals negative 23. Divide by 6 to both sides. X equals negative 23 over 6. The important thing here is that we multiplied both sides by the least common denominator. We canceled, and then we distributed. 4 times 3, 4 times 2, and we're good to go. Once you get rid of the fractions, and the first step here, no fractions, the problem is easy. Here, there's no distribution. No distribution. So we find the least common denominator. And in this case, between 3, 5, and 4, the least common denominator is 60. So we multiply both sides by least common denominator. So, times 60, using parentheses, times 60. Now we have to distribute. Distribute. And I'm going to show this. I'm going to distribute, then cancel. So I have 60 over 1 times 2/3 x plus 60 over 1 times 3/5 equals 60 over 1 times 3/4 x plus 60 times 2. Now, switch colors here. I'm going to cancel. 3 goes into 60, 20. 5 goes into 60, 12. 4 goes into 60, 15. But I showed here what I'm multiplying. I'm multiplying by 60, multiplying by 60, multiplying by 60, multiplying by 60. Everything is being multiplied by 60. Now I just multiply across. We have no denominators left, hence we have no fractions. So I'm left with 40x plus 36 equals 45x plus 120. 20 times 2, 40. 12 times 3, 36. 15 times 3, 45. Should do that in a different color. 60 times 2 gives me my 120. Now, we're going to solve this like we always do. An easy way to do this, scroll up here for a minute. In one line, I went minus 6x, minus 6x, and then the other line minus 8, minus 8. I can do it all in one line. I can go minus 40x, minus 40x, because I want to move the x to one side. And then I can go minus 120, minus 120. And then I take care of showing my work, which I want you to do, but I'm showing it all in one step. 45 minus 40, 5x, equals 36 minus 120 is negative 84. 84, 91, yeah, minus 84. Then I divide both sides by 5. And please show this. I want you understanding that we are, in this case, subtracting negative 40x to both sides. The operation that we're performing is subtracting to both sides. Here, we're dividing both sides. We need to show that. These 5's cancel, and my final answer then is x equals negative 84 over 5. All right, the last example, and this is what's causing the most problems for people, is when we have fractions being multiplied by some quantity I have 2/3 here times this quantity. I have 2 times this quantity, and it's a little more confusing. Distribute first. Distribute first. Once we distribute, it'll be like the problem that we just did. Then find the least common denominator. So I'm going to distribute 2/3 times 3/5 x plus 2/3 times 3/2 equals 2/1 times 2/3 minus 2 times 2 plus 1/2. All right? I distribute, and then I want to find the least common denominator. But cancel. I cannot overemphasize that you need to cancel before you multiply. A lot of you that are struggling do not do this. So 3 cancel. I get 2/5 x plus 2's cancel. Should do this in a different color. I get 1 and 1. 3's cancel. I get 1 and 1. So down here, I have 1 equals 2 times 2, 4 over 1 times 3, 3 plus minus 4 plus 1/2. My least common denominator between 5, 3, and 2 is 30. So then I'm going to distribute both sides by 30. And I get 30 times 2/5 x plus 30 times 1 is 30 equals 30 times 4/3. I'm so sorry, I lost my x here. X minus 30 times 4, 120 plus 1/2 times 30. I then cancel. 5 goes into 30 6 times. 3 goes into 30 10 times. 2 goes into 30 15 times. 6 times 2 gives me 12x plus 30 equals 10 times 4 is 40x minus 120 plus 15. And before I do anything else, 12x plus 30 equals 40x. My negative 120 and my positive 15 add together to give me minus 105. And then I'm going to subtract 12x to both sides, add 105 to both sides, and I get 145 equals 28x, divide by 28, divide by 28, and I'm done. The key here, though, was we distributed first. You must distribute first. All right. Oh, last thing, cancel before you multiply. Have a great weekend, guys. I hope this helped. I'll see you guys on Monday.